Hey YouTube, how you guys doing today? Kevin here, coming back at you with another video. Alright, so I got so much stuff going on, guys, it's not even funny. Just all kinds of stuff. Trying to get you guys out some videos anyway. Just been absolutely crazy. So, let me tell you where we left off. Alright, so, on the Kv75 here, we had this seat right here. I got stuff everywhere, man. So this is the seat right here that we had for the bike. And this clips up underneath here that are ripped off. They screwed it down over here. It's missing the foot pads. These are bent over. These are supposed to go straight up. This seat's actually not in crazy bad shape, but it's not in good shape either. I was going to go ahead and redo this seat with that other seat cover. It does have the straps. Those are pretty cool. I don't know if they'll come off, but I have another seat that doesn't have those strap mounts. Anyway, I'll show you that. This is the other seat that I have. See, there was never a place on them, so I'm thinking this is an older seat pan, but don't really matter. It's got the rubber mounts, and it's got all the clips, and I tossed on the seat cover to see how it would look, and it looks good. So this seat pan right here, we'll keep that and see if we can get those off. I have a way of taking those off without destroying them. And we can put those on the bottom of this seat pan here. Basically, it's the same exact seat, same amount of holes, same body, just doesn't have those clips. Which is okay with me. Let's put this on the bike, see how it looks. Alright, so it doesn't look too shabby. The seat foam needs to be replaced, so I didn't go too crazy on tightening it up underneath there because it's a little extra, but it's on there nice and tight, nice and firm, so I'm happy with that. And then that's what you get for the back of the bike. Doesn't look too bad, huh? So we've got that part done. Now, I picked up a couple of bikes, parts bikes, that I'm not going to be doing anything with. So I just grabbed them for parts, exclusively for parts, and I'm going to take what I need off of them and move them along. So I'm going to put those clips and straps onto the back of that seat, because that's the one that goes to that seat, and then that'll take care of that whole mess. Then we need to go through and see if we got all the wirings done. All the electrical is done to the bike. The bike's all the electrical has been tested and proven to work. So we're good there. And well, let's go take a look at the bikes and see what we got. Alright, sorry about the light, guys. It's wicked bright out today. But Lewis, this guy Lewis from one of the forums hooked me up with these two bikes right here. The tanks have holes in them, you know, nothing fancy there. This custom made forks, which we're not going to use, engine parts and pieces all up in there. So we're going to see what we need, what we're going to grab, what we're going to rob, and then we're going to go from there. So that's pretty much, this is a first look at these bikes. And like I said, I'm going to take what I need off of them. This taillight's broken, by the way. Or is it right here? It's all cracked up underneath here. But I mean, it's a whole taillight fixture, and these are hard to find, and I got two of them. So I'm gonna keep one, move one. You know what I mean? So I'll keep a set for myself and extras for a spare, and then move it along. Pretty much is what I plan on doing with that. Couple of headlight buckets with the proper bolts. So we're gonna rob a set of bolts off one of these headlight buckets and then move it along. So there's a lot of littles, a lot of bigs, you know, nothing too crazy. It's got the proper grum insert. These things are 25 bucks a piece, guys. Crazy. But it's got tank, no electrical harness, it's got the original factory coils. All kinds of cool stuff. I mean, there's a lot of good parts. The fender's junk on this one, but this one's got good fenders on it, good back and front fenders. So it's got good fenders, good plastics. that sort of thing. So there's a lot of good and there's a lot of bad, you know what I mean? A lot of good, a lot of bad. So throttle cable, I don't know if the throttle cable's any good. Engine mount. Throttle cable right here, factory cable with the slide. Yeah, it all looks good. Got the proper ends on it. Will that even come out? Is it hooked up to anything up there? Nope, look at that, guys. Nice throttle cable. So I got a nice throttle cable. That's good to have for a spare, because I got a brand new one on my bike. So that we'll save that one for my bike for a spare. And then I have a couple that can go with this bike, which is good. Fuel tank is been sealed and is rusted up pretty good. How's the underpart look? Oh, the underpart looks really nice. I'm sure there's some holes in it, but we'll figure it out, you know. So I know there's holes on the side. So we got some repairs to do to that one. That's gonna be stripped down and gone through. So that tank will keep. That tank can go with the bike. It looks like that tank is just done. Ignition coils, we don't need any of those. It's got a nice straight bar down bottom there. We'll grab that. Anything I think we need. I think we'll move a lot of the stuff along. It's got an exhaust tip on one of them. Bad exhaust, good exhaust tip. Some tires are all shot. I don't know how the brakes or anything like that are, so I think what I'll do is go through. We got our extra ignition plate. Like, this is damaged right here, the coil, but we don't care about that because we're going to be using the plate itself. So that's going to be good for our bike. For that CDI unit, we have to do that, finish that off. So we got that. Yeah, petcock. We got petcock. We need a petcock. So we got a petcock. We got some goods, guys. We got some goods that we need, and a lot we don't need. We don't need any of this. This is literally all gonna go bye-bye. All of it. All these parts and pieces we don't need. Oh, another seat pan. Oh, it's a good seat pan too. It's got all the clips. These are clips I was telling you guys about right here that are normally ripped off. These are all there. And it's got the extra rubbers. So that's a really good seat pan. Right there. That's a good seat pan. Peak, some cylinders, all kinds of crap. All kinds of goods. Some sprockets, some covers, Shefton forks. This one's wiped out. See how bad that is? The horn. Oh, these are mine. These came out of my box. Those didn't come with it. I gotta take all my stuff that just fell out in it. Cool, another petcock. Nice. So we got some stuff, guys. We got some stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and what do you call it there? This is a first look, and I figured I'd show it all off to you guys. See what we got. We got a lot of parts and pieces, and a lot of stuff. A lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. Engine right there. So we'll go from there. Alright guys, I'm out. Thank you for watching. I figured I'd do a first look at the lot, what I got, the seat. What do you call it there? Well, let's pull this apart and take a look at the brakes anyway. Let's do that, huh? Alright, so we got this down here. I think I'd take a look at the brakes and see what I'm looking at, because if I don't have to buy brakes, I'd rather not. You know what I mean? So I don't know how tight these are going to be. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know if I can take it off with a pair of pliers. Probably not. Turns underneath. Okay. One of the good things is it wasn't even tight. Taking this off with a pair of pliers, you know what I mean? Okay. Now Alright. Put that part right there off. Looks like they used a American bolt on that. Alright. So I gotta send stuff out to be welded. TIG welded. And I haven't got to that point yet, but I'll be doing that over that engine block there. Get that crack-a-lacking over the next couple of weeks. Because we got the KE102 build we're doing. We got a lot. Just an astronomical amount of bike builds that we're doing, that we're working on. Kv75, got the, what do you call it there? We have a lot. Like, holy cow. There's so much going on. These brakes are here. I know I should buy new. I'm just trying to see if I have at least something I can put the wheels on with. The brakes for this thing are expensive. They're 75 bucks for both sets of aftermarket brakes. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to come out. What do you call it? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I need a mallet. I'm going to tap that down with a mallet. Alright. Good old dead blow hammer. Get that on there. Give it some. Alright, now probably up against the bench. Yep, I have to bench at this point. Okay. Put it like that. Move you guys so you guys can see what I'm doing. See, sometimes these videos, they're not intended to be what they are, you know what I mean? I didn't know I was going to be doing this in this video. It wasn't planned out, it was just one of those things. So, alright, let me guys show you something with you. I have one of these cool tools right here from Craftsman, and it is a punch holder. Put that right in there. Give it a couple of twists, and it holds your punch for you so your hands are in the safe zone. Okay. He's knocked out. Get the spacer off. Here's the bench again. Alright. Put this thing in there. And the spring just wants to twist it. That's how they made it. So now it's got pressure on it all the time. It is what it is. This thing's gonna snap. It goes around. Damn. Those are really in there. Wow. I think everything on this bike is going to fight with me, to be honest with you. I do. I think everything on this bike is going to fight with me. Jesus. tooth and nail. Let me move my KE102 parts. I don't want any of that to get damaged. Especially if the axle decides to go catapulting out of there, careening out of there. Hey, I got it. Okay. Oh, it's got brake shoes. They're not good, but it's got them. We're going to replace them. But here's a good mechanism. So, it's got a couple good things going for it. Alright. So, anyway, since I got this wheel here, I'm going to show you guys something. I get asked a lot of questions about wheels and tires and how to remove wheel bearings. So let's see if we can get the wheel bearings out. Okay. Okay. So you got your wheel bearings are here. Oh yeah, that's gravel. And then you got one on the inside here. Okay. So what I do is I put this down on the rotor like this. Like so. Close this back up. And then I take my punch. Good solid punch and a good holder. See how you can barely feel anything in there. When you do get a spot, give it L. And then it'll start to move out of there. This one, however, is so in there, I need to get myself a bigger hammer. Alright, so now we've got a bigger hammer. Let me get you guys in the view. Okay, so here's the hammer right here. I got this little nice little tap, 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 taparoo. We're going to drive it out using this heavy-duty Stanley quality hammer. I'm just kidding with you guys. That's not a hammer. That's a hammer. Okay, so give it some. Bearing comes right out. Okay, and your spacer. Then you flip it over. But before you flip it over, you want to clean out any debris that's in this part right here. All right, if there's any debris in there at all, rust, corrosion, or dirt, you want to clean that out. And the reason for that is when you're driving the bearing out, it's going to get seized on the corrosion and it could cause cracks. All right, if you're driving on a bearing and it can't go anywhere because of all the corrosion. And it's not a bad idea to take a little oil or lubricant, whatever you got, doesn't really matter, there's no spec, it could be WD-40, and just give it a little coat. Now the reason why I'm doing it on this side and not the other is the other side was shallow mounted. It was shallow. So there's really nothing, it can only do one thing. However, this side has to go all the way through in order for it to come out. So, same thing. Grab your trusty old, I'm breaking up housekeeping. I almost dropped you guys. That's what happens when you throw a chisel and it hits the release button on the leg of the tripod. I don't know what the odds of that happening again are. But it happened. Okay. Alright. Get that back in like that. I like this tool because it saves on your fingers and your hands. Put it onto your bearing. Give it hell. Give it hell. Give it hell. Give it hell. Give it some. Okay. Now we'll see where we're at. We're driving it right up to the front there. Still got a little ways to go. Not bad though. And the bearing's out. Now, that made it a lot easier when the piece was out, when you go to put the bearing in. Okay, what I use is never, ever, ever drive on the center of a bearing. So if you had it in your mind that you were going to take your axle, and the only reason why I'm saying this is because I've seen this before, you will destroy this axle. Do not put a nut on it and drive it in that way. You will destroy the bearing and your axle. Don't even think about using your axle to drive the bearing in. Do not use your punch either, okay? So the bearing's already shot, but we don't really care about this wheel at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to center the bearing with my mallet. I'm tapping it on the outer side. Okay? And I'm not touching the center. When I drive this in, I'm going to drive it in from the outside. Grab a socket that fits. Does that fit right there? No, it does not. That right there would actually be driving on the bearing balls. Okay? You want to grab it from the outer diameter. Okay? So if you have to go like that, that is incorrect. Okay? It should be the same width. Alright, so what I like to use is a socket. This is a 1/2-inch drive socket, and it fits on here. Not quite the same length, just a shade under it. Okay, you can feel the lip. So now I'll put that on the outside there, so it fits on like that. And I'll gently tap it in place. And right now, I'm not driving on the actual center part of the bearing. I'm driving on the outer part. Until I get the bearing into place. Make sure you can turn it. And then that's all there is to it. The bearing's installed. Then, flip it back over. Stick your spacer in there. Mallet. Tap it. And then drive it in. If it's flush, and the bearing turns. I can still turn the bearing, and I didn't drive on the bearing. I grabbed it from the outside of the bearing. And that's all there is to doing your bearings. So I wasn't going to show you on this wheel, but I figured since I was already here and I already had the tools, and I told you guys I would show you guys how to change wheel bearings on a Kv75 and an MT1. That is how you do it. Real simple, real basic. Nothing too dramatic. So we're that's how you do wheel bearings on a Kv75 or an MT1. So where we're at is I still got to do that tank right there, which I'm going to do. I'm going to do the other tank, which is actually in better shape than that tank. So I'm going to do the other one first. So it's going to get looped around. That's going to be a later date. We're going to do the other tank sooner than later. And that's going to go on to this bike here for my Kv75. So where we're at with the bike is we need to get the rubbers for the pegs. We're going to switch out that bar because that's a nicer straight bar. And then all the wiring's done. The electrical's all done. That basically is going to be a rolling chassis. We got to get brakes and a rear sprocket. We got the bearings right there. The bearings in that wheel and tire are already on. So then it's just a matter of popping them onto this. And guys, we're in really good shape with this bike. We're in really good shape. We got the tailpipe. Tailpipe's done. We got the CDI ignition. Now we got the other plate. We can finish it all off, make it nice and clean, make it look beautiful. And then I will get you guys a measurement and schematic on how to do that. So for the CDI. And I'm really happy with this bike. This bike is coming along quite well. I love that seat, like the plate. So we just got to throw a tank on this, get this tank done, get that on there, get that done, and then this bike right here will be up and running after we do the motor. We have a lot to do with the motor. I'm still looking for a cylinder, but I did get the cylinder head off that motor, and I need a shift fork. Those are the major parts that I need, and I'm not really complaining. And then we'll be getting into that motor really, really soon. So, first things first, tank. Once the tank is on, the rear sprocket, the brakes, the rubber pads, this will be a complete rolling chassis. And then from there, we can then go and do the motor, and then this bike will be up and running for summer. And we got to get back on the KE102. So I got to tear this whole thing down. Like I said, I'm going to be doing that on Monday. So that's my plan for Monday. Get that ripped down. We're going to spend it's going to be a 2-part video tearing that thing down and installing all the components for the what do you call it there, tachometer drive. And then we'll be back on this one. After we get the tachometer drive and get that all done, we're going to do an engine start and break in on that. My friend Bob is going to take the cylinder head and machine it to do the decompression valve, which is nice. So that right there will have a decompression. Basically, be a button on the handlebars. You push it over. It'll relieve some of the compression when I start it, so it's not such a strain on the motor. So really not that bad. So kind of a mixed up video, this one, because we have a lot going on with it. I'm going to go see what I need for parts, grab a few extra spare parts for this bike, and then all those other parts are going to be pushed off and they're going to go someplace else. So anyway, guys, I'm out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all your subscriptions. And we'll be back at it soon. Talk to you guys later.